apparently Kari Lake had some kind of recording. And she recorded this. She talked about this and like insinuated things in the past. There's the chairman of the Arizona Republican Party that has just resigned over this recording that got leaked to the Daily Mail. Daily Mail had this exclusively, so we want to give them a lot of credit and thank them because we're going to show it to you. By the way, great site. I read it all the time. It's actually fantastic. Get the app. Anyway, Daily Mail reporting that the Arizona Republican Party chair, Jeff DeWitt, is resigning over this bombshell audio in which he's allegedly here. Now, he says it was heavily edited, allegedly bribing Kari Lake to get out of politics, to not run for Senate in Arizona. And of course, she doubled down and says, this is what I want to do. We have got to listen to this, and I've got to play for you, or read at least to you, what Jeff DeWitt is saying in response. But let's cue this tape up. Drew and I, we've divided it here into like 5 different sections for you. So we're going to kind of enjoy it and let it digest and figure out just what's going on, because I'm telling you, this is wild. And I'm just going to say this before we even start rolling any tape. One, I feel bad for this guy, really, really bad, because he didn't know he was being recorded. All right. So let's keep that in mind. 2, he's saying it was edited. It probably was. But 3, think about this. Why is there so much money in politics? I mean, can we get this darn money out so people are not dependent on this stuff? Remember that as we go to play these. Let's cue part 1.
Don't use it, because then we lose our ability to get things done in the future.
Here's my problem. Rather than just say, let's work with her, she's a great candidate, because they don't own me, and it pisses me off.
Yeah, I said it was about ownership.
It's about control.
I don't know if it's about control. It's about being on the team. I guess that's, you know what I mean?
They want to be on the team.
They want you to be on their team.
But
just team, you know?
But if they're pushing a globalist agenda, I can't do that. So what do they want? What do they want me to do?
They want you to stay out for 2 years. But, I'll tell you what I can offer you. But, I said, you can do whatever you want. It's talking head, this and that. So, the ask of me was, it's kind of funny. So, the ask I got today from back east was, this has to stay between us. Is there any companies out there or something that could just put her on the payroll and to keep her out? And I said, well, what do you want to do? Like, whatever we need to do.
This is about defeating Trump. And I think that's a bad thing for our country.
I mean, so you heard that. And again, keep in mind, he's pretty upset about this. He says it was edited. This was done in confidence. That's another part of this story that we have to discuss. But he's saying, hey, I talked to them back east, and they're like, give her whatever she wants. She just needs to sit the next 2 years out. Wow. So what? They think that people can be bought and sold and traded? And someone like Kari, I'm just going to say she's a force, right? She's got tremendous presence. And she commands the room and she commands the crowd. And heck, you know what? She's a former TV broadcaster. There you go. Thank you very much. We get that going on, right? So she knows how to capture the attention. And so they're frightened. They're really frightened of her. And she picks up on this. I want you to hear the next part of this tape, because it goes on and they start talking about what it is that they can offer her. It kind of makes your skin crawl. Again, in fairness to Jeff DeWitt, I'm going to read his statement. He says this is all taken out of context, but, let's listen. Daily Mail has it.
Is there a number at which
I can be bought?
Not be bought.
That's what it's about.
You can take a pause for a couple of years.
No.
And then go right back to what you're doing.
No. 10 million, 20 million, 30, no. $1 billion, no. This is not about money. This is about our country. I think it's disturbing that they would even, that anybody would think this is.
No, to be fair, even me, I'll say this. I want a fresh face right now for the reason that I've never seen anyone, I can't think of a single person in a federal race who's lost, ran in and won. I can't think of it. If you can think of it, let me know.
I'm not going to let these people who hate our country tell me not to run. You should call them and tell them to get behind me.
I mean,
I can win, and they should get behind me.
I will happily say those words.
Yeah.
Do you think my words will carry any weight? No.
Okay, well, did you think you would come in here and that I would be bought?
Good for her. So good for her. There's this back and forth. She's like, I'm not for sale. These people don't have our country's interests at heart, and I'm not going to do what they want me to do. Why should I, for goodness sakes? Why should I? And by the way, I'm not going to do what they want if I do win. That got out there as well. So then they start to go back and forth. And this guy's apparently saying, well, here's part of the problem. Like, even theoretically, if we were going to get them to give you something, what is it that you offer them? I mean, you don't really have the kind of quote unquote access that they want, right? Because she's just coming across as a man, a gal of the people. And apparently corporate doesn't want that. Corporate wants something else. Listen to this part.
And you know I love Trump. I love Trump.
It's not good for our country, Jeff.
It's not, but at the same time, I'm not even sure Trump can win again. I don't know that he can win.
So he says Trump's
I think what it
not
really
gonna
comes down to for a lot of people, it's not really about like control or agenda. It's just about the ability to raise money to win. You know, if you really want to know, all of politics boils down to money. I think. I always believe that. And even on their end, like what
He's
makes
pulling
them
by him. We
most
can't
money.
understand him. But he
Yeah,
says even in the
because all
end,
these consultants don't want their payday to end. And I don't want to make a deal with these kind of people.
okay, so again, going back and forth. She doesn't want to make a deal. And it doesn't sound like they can make a deal. Let's go. What are we on? Clip number 4 that we can hear of Kari and Jeff DeWitt. Again, courtesy of Daily Mail. They had the exclusive. We can talk about how they got it because Jeff is making some accusations here in his, oh gosh, this is like 2 full pages as he resigns as head of the Arizona Republican Party. Anyway, let's go to some more of Kari Lake and Jeff DeWitt.
I want to work for the betterment of Arizona. I'm not going to let these people back in D.C. tell me not to run. I'm not going to pause for 2 years. The battle is now. I'm offended by whoever these people are that they're trying to buy me out of.
Well, you should be honored.
But I'm offended that there's people back there who just don't give about our country.
Do you understand though? You should be honored. That means they know how powerful you are.
Well, I can tell them
If
that.
you weren't powerful, they wouldn't want to have this conversation.
Yeah.
Right? You should be. Very few people get this.
I know. I'm pissed that they don't care more about our country. It's all about.
She's mad. She's really, really mad. She referenced this because this thing happened a few months ago, but she has referenced this a few times out on the campaign trail, saying she was offered basically whatever she wanted to not run, but she felt so compelled to do this. Let's go to the last little portion, and then you will have heard the whole thing, and then we're going to go to Jeff DeWitt and his comments. But this is the last part of Kari Lake, basically with this this secret tape that she, I guess, had been holding onto. Here's the final installment.
Yeah.
You don't have anything to offer them. And they're sitting around people that have something to offer them. You know what I mean? It's just, it's a back scratching club. That's all DC is. It's a big back scratching club. You're in no position to scratch anybody's back, and you've already made it known that if you get there, you're not going to scratch anybody's back. I don't scratch people's back. You know, I've been on the outs with a lot of people for a long time because I don't scratch backs. You know, where are we in 2 years if they steal the election again?
Okay.
Listen to what you're saying. Why don't we do something about it so that we the people can pick our.
What can we do?
I'm not willing to accept that. And I'm going to be the biggest pain in these people. Go back and tell them that. I'm running, and I'm going to be the biggest pain in their.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So there's a lot to unpack there. But I think before we even get into, and I feel for the guy because suddenly he's on a national platform and he's like, wait a second, I'm just the messenger. I'm just the messenger. Kari, you're my friend. I'm just telling you, this is the way the world works. And she's exposing it now. And so he's kind of going down in flames, which isn't, entirely, it does sound like he's just the messenger, right? Apparently they were good friends. We'll get into that. But what it is exposing and what it is showing is something pretty important in that there's so much money in politics and it's like a revolving door. I mean, this is what people complain about with the darn deep state, right? They're in and out of business and the White House. And that's kind of a problem.